Well, hey everyone, it is December the 24th. We don't take holidays off on Read Through the Word. The Lord doesn't take days off, so we don't take days off. But we realize that many of you may be watching December 24th, either before the 24th or a few days after the 24th and 25th. But whenever you're watching, we are truly excited that you are here with us, and pray that you are just marveling in the reason for the season, which is Jesus. He is the Word. He was the Word. He is the Word. He came in flesh and dwelt among us. And so that's the reason we exist. That's the reason we personally exist, but that's the reason Word Up exists. We have Read Through the Word so that people will know the full and experience the fullness of who He is in us through the power and the life-giving, sustaining Word that He left for us to study. Today's lesson is not one of those, I gotta write down everything she says. I'm just going to tell you it's not. In fact, these main points I think I taught a few years ago. But as I was looking and studying and reading just today's reading, you cannot get away. You cannot get away from the love equal obedience. Love equals imitation, and imitation equals obedience. You cannot escape that in 1 John. You cannot. He loved us so much, right? Read the first part of the letter there. We proclaim to you the one who existed from the beginning. Read that. And then continuing on, the love is there. There is no denying God's love for us. Our response to His love is to imitate His Son. Look at verse 6. This is one of those verses that, like I said, the points are there, but this verse kind of jumped out at me. Those who say they live in God should live their lives just as Jesus did. Now, you guys know one of my favorite commentaries, and Lisa's too, is David Guzik, Enduring Word. And this is what David said about this. This just cracked me up. We aren't called to imitate the way Jesus walked on water, right? But His everyday walk with God the Father. The spiritual power evident in the life of Jesus flowed from a faithful, regular, disciplined life of what? Fellowship and obedience. When I saw that, I was like, okay, we're going to have to talk about that 4-letter word that just trips us up. Obey. We're not called to walk on water. We really complicate this whole obedience thing. We complicate it. Notice that David said, the spiritual power evident in the life of Jesus flowed from a faithful, regular, disciplined life of fellowship and obedience. Without fellowship, friends, we are not going to know what He wants us to do. Because here's the thing. Let me back up. When I was talking about complicating it, we complicate it by this. Well, I don't know if it's God. I don't know if it's me. I don't know if this is what I'm supposed to do. I don't know. The only way to know is to know His voice. Know how He communicates with you. Lisa and I have been teaching this over and over again, and we can't hear it enough. I have to hear it. I was talking to someone the other day about Read Through the Word, and I told her I said, this course that we've been teaching for now I will start my 14th year reading through the Bible. This will be the 13th year that we have read through the Word in 2022. I teach this course because, I love God's Word. It is like honey to me. It is like I could eat the words, like Jeremiah said. I discovered your words and I ate it. I didn't always feel that way. I'm not going to go down that story. I didn't always feel that way. But I love what we do here. I love that we get to sit down and chat about Jesus. We get to sit down and chat about the Word. But I'm going to be honest with you. This course that we teach every single year, day in and day out, and we'll be doing it until Jesus comes or until Jesus calls me home, this course keeps me accountable. It keeps me in fellowship with God. Are you saying, Wendy, that you might not be as committed to Christ or love His Word as much if you weren't teaching read through the Word? That's exactly what I'm saying. Exactly. If I did not have this commitment in front of me, this time that you and I spend together day in and day out, Lisa, day in and day out, I would have an excuse not to read. I would have an excuse not to study. I don't have an excuse. I'm accountable. Therefore, I am going to have fellowship with the Father, with the Son, and with the Spirit every day. That's the beauty of this whole course. Read through the Word. It makes us accountable to one another and to our Father and to the Spirit and to the Son. And when we are accountable to this time, this is fellowship. This is fellowship with the brethren. This is fellowship in the Word. And when we fellowship with the Father, the Son, and the Spirit, we learn to discern. Yes, we learn to discern. We'll know, yep, that's not the Lord. That's a great opportunity, and that sounds really good, but that is the devil in sheep's clothing. This sounds really good, and I don't see anything wrong with it, but it's not the right opportunity for me. Lord, I hear what you're saying. I do not want to do it. She has been unkind to me. I do not want to make her family a meal. I don't want to do it. I'll send them a gift card. No, I want you to make them a meal. Let me give them a gift card. Let me send DoorDash to them. Make them a meal. Okay, Lord, I'm going to make them a meal. You'll know. You will know exactly what to do because of the fellowship, the discipline of fellowship and obedience. There is no escaping. There's no escaping it. In fact, did you see 1 John 2, 3, and 4? And we can be sure that if we know Him, if we obey His commandments. If someone claims, I know God, but doesn't obey His commandments, that person is a liar and not living in the truth. Oh, heaven's mercy. That makes my skin crawl. That makes me truly gag and almost want to vomit at the thought of being a liar. Someone who says I love God, but does exact opposite of Him or follows the world. I can't even, and I know that there are times when I am a liar because I claim that I know the truth, but I'm not willing to obey what He wants me to do. I know that. And it makes me gag. It makes me gag. Love equals imitation. Imitation equals obedience. He makes it so clear, y'all. It's simple. If I love God, I'll imitate his son, which means living as Jesus did. And living as Jesus did means living a life of obedience. And either I love God or I don't love God. It's that clear. John 15, John 14. John 15 is all about abiding. John 14 is all about, if you love me, you'll obey my commandments. I remember, and I'm gonna go on a story that I've said before. Years ago, I read that verse in John, and I said, God, I don't know that I love you that much. I want to. So here's my word to you that is on the other side of this camera going, yeah, I don't love him that much. I'm not as excited about him as you are. I'm not as enthusiastic about it. Disobeying him doesn't make me want to vomit. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Because I've spent 2 decades now studying this word and getting to this point. Because there was a time where I didn't. In fact, I lived most of my life like this. La, 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 la. Let me go to church, fill in my Bible study place. La, 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 la. Oh, wasn't church good today? Preacher did such a great job. Look at all my notes. Did you take notes? Look, did you write this down? Did you hear him say this? La, 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 la. And then I found this chronological Bible and it rocked my world. And I started saying, Lord, help me love you that much. Help me love you that much. I want to. I know I don't. I had to confess that I didn't. I had to humble myself. God, I don't love you that much. I've been saved since I was a little bitty girl. But I don't love you that much. I appreciate what you did for me on Calvary. I appreciate that I'm not going to spend eternity apart from you. But I don't love you that much. And the more I prayed it, the more opportunities I got to show him, okay, yep, I do love you. I'm going to do this. I don't want to, white knuckling. I don't want to, but I'm going to do it. And the more you do obey and imitate, the easier it gets. And the easier it gets, the more delight you have in your life. There is no other way. You will learn to discern because you will know his voice through the fellowship of him, through the fellowship with him through the word. And you will want to obey him. You will want to obey him. You will white knuckle it sometimes and you will say, I really am scared. I really don't want to do this, but I'm going to. And there is no substitute for pleasing your Father. Absolutely no substitute. You can look at my notes, whatever. I just wrote a few little things down. The bottom line is, it's simple. Love God or live as a liar, Wendy. That's my something to do. Love God or live as a liar, Wendy. And I don't want to live as a liar. I don't like liars and I don't like thieves. You ask my kids, what's the 2 things your mama doesn't like? Lying and thievery. I don't like either one of those things. I certainly don't want to be known as one. To anyone around me, but especially to the man who sent his son, so I would not be separated from him for eternity. It's that simple. It really is. Fellowship and obedience comes from faithful, regular, disciplined life. And it's generated through this word, and you're in the right place. You are in the right place. We'll see you next time on Read Through the Word.